Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm making kids DIY toys. I started with some DIY robot crayons. I made a car garage for all of Oliver's favorite cars. He is obsessed with cars. And I also made some pretty easy DIY chalk that turned out really great and worked really well. Since my son turned about 2, I've been liking to make these videos because they make him so happy. They've become kind of a thing in our household, and he gets very excited every time I film one of these kids DIY videos. Sometimes I fail miserably at these, but he always still appreciates it and has fun, and today's worked out pretty well, so I'm starting first and foremost with the robot crayons. Now, technically, you can make crayons in any shape or color that you prefer. I have 2 boxes of crayons here, and I'm collecting a few of the same color, and I'm removing the paper, and I'm breaking them into bowls. I'm using bowls that I can bake with, and they're also flexible, so they're great for pouring into the molds a little bit later. So I'm choosing a few different colors such as green, orange, red, and blue. I'm breaking them up and putting them into the bowls, and I'm going to bake that. So I'm baking it 350 degrees until it is completely melted. Keep an eye on them in the oven, but it generally takes about 10 to 15 minutes for them to melt completely. Mine had a little bit that still needed to be melted, but as soon as I stirred it, it seemed to melt pretty completely. And I have different popsicle sticks for each bowl. So once it's completely melted, I'm pouring this into the robot molds. So what I really liked about these is you could actually customize them however you want. So if you can find molds in your favorite movies or TV shows, or if you just wanted to make traditional shapes like a heart or a star. I love this because you can customize crayons, and kids really find it. At least my child loved this. He loved it. So I'm pouring all the different colors into the molds. I'm going to make solid crayons, and then I also decided to make two-tone crayons. So in this case, I have red and orange, and then I added a little bit of green. And it was pretty cool because once these dried and I pulled them out, some of their bellies were like a different color than the rest of their body. It just looked really fun. So I had a good time with it. And after about 6 hours, they should be completely dry. You can pull them out, and I was really happy with how they turned out. He really liked them because he played with them like they were some of his guys, but he could also color with them. So I just stored these in a Ziploc bag, and these were actually really great. We took these on an airplane trip we recently went on, and also we're taking them on another trip we're going on. We haven't lost any yet, which is like amazing, and he loves it. He uses it in his coloring book, and yeah, he plays with them like little guys as well.
Robot. We got the robot. Yeah,
You want another color of the robot? Here, look.
Yeah.
I got this guy.
Yeah.
I got this guy.
I love it. Ah, and 2 guys.
You can use them like this. You can use their legs. Try.
Yeah.
So the crayons were a success, and now I wanted to try a cardboard toy garage. Now, I had seen these all over Pinterest, and people made them very different. Some people went super extravagant, some people went super simple, but I knew I wanted to make one for my son because he is obsessed with cars. So I just took an old shopping box, I taped up the bottom, and then I am cutting the flaps, which this was actually harder than I thought it was going to be. I actually was like starting to break a sweat cutting a box, at least maybe with the scissors I had. Maybe they weren't very sharp, but it took me some time. So once I did that, then it was time to build the structure. So I had a top portion of the garage, and I'm going to create a little ramp to go to the bottom portion. I have another garage I want to make for him in the future that is pretty much all toilet paper rolls. So I got the colored ones at Michael's for pretty cheap. And then I just built a ramp and a few different signs. I'm using tape, but you can use glue or a hot glue gun. Depends on how long you think it's going to last. With a Sharpie, I made some spaces for him to park his car, and I put lines down the ramp so it looked like a road. I cut 2 doors. I have a going in door and a coming out door, so this is usually the area where you pay going into a parking garage. So I just put an arrow going in and an arrow going out so he knows which ways to put his car. And yeah, the ramp comes down to the exit. So I don't know, I was just trying to make it look as fun and interesting as possible. And like I said, you can go as crazy as you want with this. So he played with this so much actually that I didn't structurally make it strong enough. So if I make another parking garage in the future, I want to make it stronger so it can last longer because he really liked it. And after a few days, it kind of was like, it was disheveled. So I made an exit and enter sign so he can kind of start reading signs and know which ways his cars go. I also made a little parking sign. And the cool thing is, like I said, you can customize it, you can go crazy with it, and it's a fun way for your kid to play with their toy cars. He really, really loved it, had a good time with it, and I want to make another parking garage in the future for sure.
Times I've been alone in my life, but now I found a reason to be smiling.
Look, what does it say right here?
You came into my world,
Oliver's
then you turned
Garage.
on all the lights. Just when I was really getting tired of trying.
We are now moving on to the DIY chalk. Now I am also using toilet paper rolls. These are recycled toilet paper rolls. You can either buy them in bulk at Michael's or you can save up for them yourself because obviously we all use toilet paper, so you can save the toilet paper rolls. I am cutting some wax paper to fit into the toilet paper rolls. We are going to have some giant chalk. I couldn't really figure out any other molds that would have worked for this chalk to make it thinner, so I just decided to go with giant toilet paper roll size chalk. So I am taping off one side of the toilet paper roll. I'm going to make sure I do a pretty good job because I am going to be pouring liquid into these. So I'm taping off each and every one of them, trying to make sure it's completely sealed. We are mixing non-toxic plaster of Paris and water together. I will put the exact measurements in the description. This is going to create the plaster or the chalk. Then you want non-toxic paint in the colors that you choose. I decided to make a few different colors, but I made an orange. I also made a pink color, blue, yellow. But again, you can customize this however you want and make whichever colors you want. More of one color, less of another color. But then I am pouring that into a Ziploc and I'm cutting the tip. So I'm going to be piping that into the open side of the toilet paper roll, and I'm going to do that for all of these in the different colors.
Waiting for the summer sun to shine on me. Now you're here, I look up high and there's not a cloud in my blue sky.
For chalk this big, it definitely needed to dry overnight, and then in the morning I just took out the toilet paper roll and took off the tape, removed the wax paper. There was a tiny bit of wax paper stuck, so I had to kind of go through and remove that. It's probably because I didn't do a perfect cylinder for the wax paper, but it ended up turning out totally great. My son waited impatiently as I took everything apart, and then we went outside right away and played with the chalk. It's huge chalk, but it works really great, and we had a lot of fun with it, so I would definitely recommend this one as well. So this was a successful DIY kids day. I haven't always been successful with these videos, even though I put them up anyway, but I think it's fun to do this. My son always gets really excited about these videos. He kept running around saying, "It's my birthday, it's my birthday." So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and check out my last few videos and subscribe to my channel for future videos, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.